Hello everyone. So in today's video we will study the elliptically and circularly polarized light. So this is a 10 marks important for your examination purpose. Semester examination they may ask for a 10 marks. This is important. So let's begin. So we have to concentrate on this diagram and given the explanation of this diagram. So see here, let a monochromatic light be incident on a nickel prism. So here we are taking this as our monochromatic light. What is meant by monochromatic light? The monochromatic light which have single frequency, single wavelength as well as the single color. So we are taking a monochromatic light and incidenting on a nickel prism, and this nickel prism considering as a N1. Next here, after passing through the nickel prism N1, it is a plane polarized. After we are passing that light to a nickel prism, we are getting here the plane polarized light. Okay, next here, and is incident on a uniaxial doubly refracting crystal P. Next, whatever we are getting here our plane polarized light, that is incident on a what? Uniaxial doubly refracting crystal P. Either it may be what? Calcite or the quartz, whose faces have been cut parallel to the optic axis. Whose faces here cut parallel to the optic axis. Next, what happened? The vibration of the plane polarized light is incident on a crystal as shown in a figure. So here they given one figure. In that figure, whatever the plane polarized light is incident on this crystal, whatever the vibration is taking place, that vibration is shown in this diagram or this figure. Okay, this is the explanation. Once again I will tell you. First we are incidenting our monochromatic light on a nickel prism. After passing the nickel prism, we are getting a plane polarized light. Again that plane polarized light is incident on a what? P. What is the P? It is a doubly refracting uniaxial crystal. So the crystal it may be quartz or the calcite. So by incidenting a plane polarized light on a quartz, the vibration will be what? Taking place on a P. So the vibration, whatever the vibration is taking place, it shown by this diagram. Okay, we'll move to the next. See here, theory. We'll see the theory. By the theory, we should have to concentrate on this diagram. So first, here we are taking the point O, here the point B, here the point P, here E, here the amplitude A, and here the angle theta. So let's see the theory. Suppose the amplitude of the incident plane polarized on the crystal A and it makes an angle theta. So in whatever the vibration is taking place, either it may be the vibration is right angles to each other. So we are drawing this diagram. So here the amplitude is A, and whatever the angle which is made by the vibration of the crystal with respect to the plane polarized light, that is what? Theta. Angle is theta and amplitude is A. Next here, with the optic axis. So already we know that P is cut parallel to the optic axis, and whatever the vibration is taking place, that on a optic axis. So we can write this. So suppose the amplitude of the incident plane polarized light on the crystal A and it makes an angle theta with the optic axis. Next here, therefore the amplitude of the ordinary ray vibrating along PO. Whatever the amplitude is there of the ordinary ray, that will be vibrating along PO. PO means from this direction. PO. Next here is A sin theta, and amplitude of the extraordinary ray vibrating along P means this is. That will be A cos theta. So this is what? A cos, this is A sin theta and this is A cos theta. So this is the explanation of the what? First diagram, first para. See here. Understood? So here amplitude is A and angle is theta. So vibration of the ordinary ray is along PO and extraordinary ray PE. So here is A sin theta, here is A cos theta. Okay, let's move to the second para. Since a phase difference delta is introduced between the two rays after passing through a thickness T of a crystal. So in the last video we already studied the retardation plate. So the part difference is produced. So that part difference is delta. Okay, where it is introduced? It is introduced between the two rays which has a certain thickness, that is small t. Next here, the rays after coming out of the crystal can be represented in terms of two simple harmonic motion at right angles to each other and having a phase difference. The two rays after passing the crystal, what happened means it giving a two simple harmonic motion at right angles to each other. Simple harmonic motion means we know the equation y equal to a sin omega t. Y is nothing but displacement, that is directly proportional to a is the amplitude and the sine of the angle. So by the passing and coming out of the crystal, they gives a two simple harmonic motion which is right angles to the each other and giving a phase difference. Okay, this is the explanation of this slide. We'll move to the next. For the extraordinary ray, okay, for the extraordinary ray, whatever the simple harmonic motion they given, that is x equal to a cos theta into sine omega t plus delta. This is the one simple harmonic motion for the extraordinary ray. Next here, for the ordinary ray, again they given y equal to a sin theta sine omega t. This is for the ordinary ray. Okay, already we know that whatever the simple harmonic motion for the extraordinary ray as well as the ordinary ray. So see, take a cos theta equal to a and a sin theta equal to b. So from these two equations we are substituting this as a and this as a b. So we are getting equation 1 and equation 2. So x equal to a sin omega t plus delta and y equal to b sin omega t. That is our equation 1 and equation 2. Next here, from equation 2, y by b equal to sin omega t. So by this we can write y by b equal to sin omega t. Okay, by the equation number 2. Next here, so sin omega t. So cos omega t we can write square root of 1 minus sin square omega t. So again that is square root of 1 minus sin omega t value is nothing but y by b. So we are substituting this y by b in here. So we are getting square root of 1 minus y square by b square. Okay, by the equation 2 we are getting the sin omega t value as a y by b. Next cos omega t we are writing square root of 1 minus sin square omega t. Next again here substituting the sin omega t value as a y sin square omega t value as a y square by b square. Next here we know that the cos omega t value. What is that? Square root of 1 minus y square by b square. Next here from equation number 1. So we are writing simple our equation number 1 in form of here x equal to a sin omega t plus delta. So we are taking a in a LHS side. So we are getting here x by a equal to sin omega t plus delta. Next this is in the form of sin a plus b. So we have to apply here the formula of sin a plus b. So what is the formula of sin a plus b? Sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So we are applying here, we are getting x by a as it is, sin a means sin omega t, cos b means cos delta, plus cos a means cos omega t and sin b means sin delta. And we are writing this as equation number 3. Okay, so we are getting here our equation number 1, 2 as well as the equation number 3. So next here, substituting sin omega t and cos omega t in equation number 3. So see here, We are getting here sin omega t value as well as the cos omega t value. Next what we are doing here means only substituting this value and this value in equation number 3. Okay. So here by substituting sin omega t and cos omega t in equation number 3, what we are getting, x by a equal to y by b into cos delta plus square root of 1 minus y square by b square into sin delta. Next we are taking this term in a LHS side. So this is in terms of positive. If we take in terms of the LHS, we are getting the negative terms. So x by a minus y by b into cos delta, that is equal to RHS term remaining as it is. That is square root of 1 minus y square by b square cos delta. Okay. Next here, squaring on both sides. So for this equation, we are squaring. So we are squaring by taking this term. Okay. So first RHS is squaring. So here square root is there. Square root will be cancelling. So we are getting 1 minus y square by b square. Cos delta, cos square delta. So this is same. For removing the square and squaring the sin theta, we are getting the RHS term. So next concentrate on a LHS term. So x by a minus y by b cos delta. This is the formula of a minus b whole square. So a square plus b square minus 2ab. So we have to substitute this formula here. So next we are getting x by a means x square by a square plus y square by b square into cos square delta minus 2ab means minus 2x by xy by ab into cos delta. Okay, by applying this squaring and formula, we are getting this solution. Okay, we know by squaring we are getting our this equation. What is our equation? X square by a square plus y square by b square cos square delta minus 2x by ab into cos delta is equal to 1 minus y square by b square into sin square delta. Next again we are simplifying and getting our equation number 4. So here how we are simplifying means x square by a square as it is. Next here y square by b square term is there. And here also y square by b square term is there. First we are multiplying with respect to sin square theta. Next sin square theta 1 as it is. Next minus y square by b square sin square theta. So that minus y square by b square sin square theta we are taking in a LHS term. So that minus y square by b square sin square theta while coming on a LHS it will be plus y square by b square into sin square theta. So we are taking in that y square by b square common. Next cos square theta as it is plus sin square theta. Next this remaining term as it is. Next we know that by the trigonometry cos square delta plus sin square delta is equal to 1. Okay. So we are getting here equation x square by a square plus y square by b square cos square delta minus 2xy divided by ab cos delta is equal to 1 minus y square by b square into cos sin square delta. Next multiplying sin square and taking that sin square term in this side and in that taking y square by b square common, we will get cos square delta plus sin square delta and this term is equal to 1. Right? So we are getting this term as it is, this term as it is, remaining term as it is equal to sin square delta. So we will get here our equation number 4. So simply we are getting our equation number 4. So this is the main solution of our this derivation. So after that we will study some cases. So here in that special case number 1, when delta equal to 0, sin delta equal to 0 and cos delta equal to 1. So delta equal to 0 means sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So equation 4 becomes, so we are substituting these values in equation number 4. By substituting the equation number 4 above the values, we will get x by a minus y by b whole square equal to 0. Again we are simplifying, we will get y by b equal to x by a and we are taking in terms of y. So y is equal to bx by a. So we can conclude these term as, so see, this is the equation of a straight line. So this is equation of straight line. Therefore, emergent light will be plane polarized. Whatever the emergent light is there, it is a plane polarized. By the first case, we conclude that our equation is in terms of straight line, and whatever the emergent light is there, that is a plane polarized. Okay, we'll move to the second special case. When delta equal to pi by 2. Pi by 2 is nothing but a 90. Sin 90 1, cos 90 0. So when substituting the delta value, we are getting the sin value as a 1 and cos value as a 0. So again we have to substitute these value in equation number 4. So by substituting the equation number 4, we will get this equation, that is x square by a square plus y square by b square, that is equal to 1. So we can conclude this represents the equation of what? Ellipse. The emergent light will be elliptically polarized. By the second case, our equation is for a ellipse and our emergent light will be elliptically polarized. Okay, this is explanation for the second case. So next we'll see for the third case. When delta is equal to lambda by pi by 2, means delta is 90 and a is equal to b. For that condition, we are substituting these in equation number 4. We are getting equation x square plus y square is equal to a square. Okay, again we can conclude this represents the equation of a radius a. So the emergent light will be what? Circularly polarized. Okay. By this we can conclude here our light is circularly polarized. Okay, this is the third case. We'll see the last case. So sorry, this is our last case. So see here the vibrations of the incident plane polarized light on the crystal makes an angle 45 degree. So here whatever the vibration is there for incident plane polarized light on the crystal makes an angle what? So this is a angle 45 degree. Okay. So whatever the vibration is there for incident plane polarized light, which can be makes an angle 45 degree with the direction of the optic axis. Okay, so whatever here angle we are getting, that angle is about 45 degree. So we'll continue this chapter in a next class. Okay, hope all of you understood this derivation and this is important for your semester examination. Okay, we'll end this video. Thank you.